Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of Hey Sara Sara. My name is Sally Raja, and I'll be your host. Hey Sara Sara is a multidisciplinary podcast where I sit down with students, founders, creators, and changemakers to explore the stories, passions, and ideas behind what they do. Today, we're joined by Riddhi, a rising sophomore and the founder of the Greenloop Initiative, a student-led project dedicated to improving recycling and sustainability in schools. Through Greenloop, she's working to make recycling easier, more effective, and more engaging for students while encouraging communities to think differently about an environmental responsibility. What started as a fun idea has grown into a passion project centered around education, awareness, and creating lasting change. Today, we'll be talking about sustainability, leadership, and what it's like turning an idea into an initiative that has the potential to impact schools and communities. We're so excited to have you here. Welcome to the podcast, Riddhi.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we dive into the Green Loop Initiative, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are?
Yeah, hi. My name is Riddhi. As she said, I am a rising sophomore. Um, I started the Greenloop Initiative in around March, and I've been basically posting weekly almost, and been working on the project for quite a while. For some time right now. And about me, I am on the dance team at my school. I really enjoy dancing, doing art. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, great. So let's start at the beginning. What inspired you to create the Green Loop Initiative?
Yeah, so the Greenloop Initiative is basically to raise awareness about recycling and sustainability measures. And so what inspired me to create the Greenloop Initiative is seeing that in my area in Leander, that the recycling rates were quite low. And so I noticed that, and especially at my school, I've seen quite a few like recycling bins, like not as much as I think there should have been. And so I started the Greenloop Initiative because in schools especially, I think there's the most production of like trash and waste, and a lot of that trash is never recycled. And so I want to bring recycling initiatives to schools so that students are aware of why they should recycle and also be motivated to recycle, which is why I've been researching the concept of RVMs, because they are basically incentive based, and I think that could really motivate students to recycle. And I also think it's very interesting that we're able to create like these really great technologies now that can create such an impact and motivate people to make a better environment.
I love that. Okay, so for someone hearing about the Green Loop Initiative for the first time, what's the elevator pitch?
Okay, so the Greenloop Initiative is basically a student-led sustainability initiative that focuses on making it accessible, engaging, and interesting. And so what we do is we hold community events, educational activities, and we post on social media regularly to get the word out about what is recycling. And our biggest thing is that we want recycling to be less of a chore, and we want it to be something that people are genuinely interested in and want to do in the future.
I love that, straight to the point. So, why do you think recycling and sustainability are topics students should care more about?
Yeah, so I think that recycling overall is overlooked quite often. Like most of the time, it's taught in elementary school a little bit, just through like quick slideshows by the teacher. But I don't think that it's really touched upon as much as it should be throughout people's lives. And so students should care about recycling because overall, right now, it may not seem like a big deal. Like, yeah, we're having global warming, but it's not impacting me in the moment, right? But the thing is that we, as we grow up and become adults, we're going to be the ones inheriting these consequences. I mean, we can tell by the weather right now that every year the summer gets even more hot. And so recycling is important because in the future, if we start recycling more, then we're less likely to inherit as many of the consequences as we are probably going to end up doing now.
I love that. Yeah, in my own neighborhood, I've seen like a lot of people don't put that much effort into the recycling. Like they care more about the green
Yeah.
bin rather than the blue bin. So I
Right.
really like that. And I can like I remember learning it like vaguely in like seventh or eighth grade. And
Exactly.
now that I'm
Yeah.
about to be a senior, I like barely remember anything about recycling. But the I was like really into environmental sustainability in like middle school. So that's why I still have that like interest in it. But I get like a lot of people might not remember it from middle school.
Right.
So I
Exactly.
love that. So the Greenloop Initiative focuses on making recycling more engaging and accessible, right? So what are some activities or ideas you've implemented or hope to implement to encourage people to recycle more?
Yeah, so one of our activities, like our main activities that we've implemented in the past few months, was our Earth Day event that we held like around the end of April near Earth Day, which is April 22nd. And so what we did was we contacted the Liberty Hill Public Library and just asked if we could set up a couple booths there, just in front of their library, and they were fine with it. So what we did was, since we set up those different booths, we would like contact the people that came there, like any person entering, since our main target was students. So we felt that a library would be the best place to hold this event, since a lot of like younger kids come quite often. And it was really fun because I really loved like meeting with these kids and seeing how they were actually engaging with each of our activities. And so more about the activities, we had an RVM prototype that we made out of a cardboard box, like a very large cardboard carton. And so what we would do is that we had like a little bucket of like plastic that we cleaned out, like plastic bottles and soda cans. And so we would like insert it. There was a hole, and then they would insert it through that. And then with our hands, we would just, there was like a little slot on the side, and we would give them a sticker through that to like demonstrate the basic concept of how an RVM worked. And I thought it was really cool that like we were able to simplify like such a complex concept for little kids, and I think they enjoyed that very much. And then some of our other booths that we had like a sorting game basically, where there was like pieces of trash and then three buckets. Since there's three different trash bins, there's the blue bin, black bin, and green bin. And so we would basically teach them that which trash type goes in which one. Like the black bins for like non-disposable like trash, and then like the green one is for organic matter and the blue one's for recycling. And so we would teach them that, and I think that was very nice. And then we also had coloring pages related to Earth Day, and then lastly we had a sustainability pledge where they would basically write their name on a sticky note and what they promise to do to help save and like protect the earth, and then they would stick that on that. And I thought that was really sweet. And what I loved the most about the event was that everybody was able to engage. I think parents really enjoyed it as well. And I just felt like I was actually making an impact and something that they could remember.
I love that. It sounds like a really great event. So you told me you were interested in technologies like the reverse vending machine, which you had at your event. So can you explain more about what those are and why would you like to bring them to your school?
Yeah, so reverse vending machines, I'm gonna just try putting it as simply as possible. Normally people don't have like the incentive to recycle, which is the main problem. Like most people are just feel an obligation to recycle just because, oh well, I need it for the future. But most of the time they don't actually see the impact like immediately, so they're not motivated to do it as much. But what RVMs do is that they basically take in pieces of plastic, like plastic bottles and soda cans, and you basically insert it, it scans it and compresses it, and after that you get like a reward back, like for example monetary awards. But normally like for schools and stuff, they would normally give like vouchers for something like a school store, or like Amazon like points towards something. And so what I like about the RVM is that it gives you like an immediate incentive, so people feel more motivated to actually recycle stuff.
Love that. It sounds really cool. So was there a moment when you realized the Green Loop initiative had become more than just a fun project and something you genuinely wanted to grow?
Yeah, so I honestly think that the Greenloop Initiative became something serious after I hosted that first community event and actually saw people enjoying and actually doing the activities. Because before that, most of our like awareness was mainly through like posting on social media. But after we hosted that first event and actually interacting with kids and adults, it made me feel that the Greenloop Initiative can actually impact other people. And it also made me want to host more events for the future, because I feel like seeing that impact in person is so much greater than like seeing it online. Like it's great to see people actually responding and seeing stuff online, but when you see them in person and see them actually learn something, I feel like that's something like unforgettable.
Yeah, I love that. I can relate as well. Okay, so looking ahead, what are some goals or milestones you'd love to accomplish with the Green Loop initiative in the next few years?
Yeah, so some of our short-term milestones are mainly to host like definitely more community events. Also like sponsorships for the RVM in the future and other nonprofits connected to the Green Loop initiative. And then also just like partnering up with community people, like other community centers, libraries, etc., schools. But over long term, like I definitely want to implement RVMs and not just in my school, but several schools throughout our district, perhaps throughout our state as well. And also just making Green Loop Initiative something that people actually like a program that people actually use even after I graduate and like they continue to recycle and like raise awareness about how important it is.
I love that. Okay, so we're gonna go into our fun segment now. So outside of sustainability, you told me you're involved in dance. So what's been your favorite part about joining the dance team at your school?
Yeah, so I did join my dance team about like 6 months ago, and I really think it's super duper fun because our team is overall so supportive and our coaches as well. And I really enjoy hanging out with my friends. And dance has been something I've been doing since I was like a young kid, like 4 or 5. And so I really enjoy like doing it overall. It's like a stress buster for me, and I love how being a part of the team now, I can do it like almost every other day.
I love that. Okay, so you seem like someone who loves planning and bringing ideas to life. So if you could instantly launch any project tomorrow, what would it be?
I feel like a project that if like resources was not a limitation and I could like contact anyone, a project that I would launch is like a sustainability network with other schools where motivated students would get together and we would all like together like design different community initiatives, environmental initiatives, contact schools, stuff like that. And I feel like because when you have a bigger group, you're more motivated to contact and you also have more support. So I feel like a big network of students with sustainability initiatives would be really cool to like implement throughout like our communities.
I love that. I hope you can somehow do it in the future. Okay,
Hopefully.
so looking ahead, where do you hope the Green Loop initiative will be in the next few years?
I hope that the Greenloop Initiative is overall like definitely a bigger program that more people can recognize over time, like in schools and places. And I hope that the Greenloop Initiative makes like more impact on more people overall, so like with more community events and perhaps even like reverse vending machines throughout schools. I hope that the Greenloop Initiative is something people can recognize quickly and like also actually listen to and basically like how do I put this? Like, I hope that it's something people recognize and know about in the future and also understand and actually follow our principles.
Okay, great. And if there's a student listening who has an idea for improving their school or community but doesn't know where to start, what advice would you give them?
I think my biggest piece of advice is I think you should just start it, honestly. Like, even if you don't feel like you're ready, you're honestly never going to be ready. And you're always going to think about what people are going to say. But I think the biggest thing is just start it because most of the time, either people don't really care or they care enough and support you. Like, I don't think there's ever been anyone who just like puts you down and says something bad about your project immediately. Like if you're passionate about something, just go for it because the worst that could happen is maybe it won't work out. You'll find something else and I people really will not remember. But if it does work out, you end up creating something really impactful and yeah, like you end up being really proud of yourself.
I love that. And if anyone wants to reach out to the Green Loop initiative, to like volunteer or help out in any way, where can they reach out?
I think the best place to reach out would like just be DMing us on Instagram, and we also have an email account that I can put on our Instagram.
Okay. We'll put up the Instagram for the viewers at the end so they can follow or support in any way.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story. It's been a pleasure learning more about your journey starting the Green Loop Initiative, your passions, and the work you're doing to make a difference on our planet. And to everyone listening, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode.